The Hellhound is a rugged and incredibly versatile tank of the Astra Militarum. Based on the reliable Chimera chassis, the Hellhound tank forgoes transport capacity in favour of larger engines and bulky canisters of promethium. This highly volatile fuel is used to supply the Hellhound's monstrous turret-mounted flamethrower, known as the Inferno Cannon. This fearsome weapon is fantastic at close-range missions, cascading torrents of burning promethium at the enemies of the Emperor. The Hellhound is often deployed in dense terrain, where it excels at flushing out enemy infantry from their hideouts and entrenchments using its impressive Inferno Cannon. Upon firing, the air is filled with the roaring and the hissing of spewing flames, followed shortly by the smell of melting flesh and the harrowing screams of any unfortunate enough to be caught in the blast. Ammunition stores are detonated, and even the unspent shells inside personnel ammunition belts explode under the searing infernos, showering the area in deadly shrapnel that can punch through muscle and bone. Any who manage to avoid this fiery onslaught and survive fall back in desperate disarray. The Hellhound's main disadvantage is the relatively short range of its primary weapon, a limitation that's somewhat compensated by its impressive mobility, allowing the tank to close the gap between its targets with fearsome speed. Hellhound tanks are rarely fielded as one, and generally make up their own company in a regiment where their combined firepower can be used to overwhelm an enemy. They can also be attached to existing infantry or armoured regiments as required. Similar to the Chimera, the Hellhound tank is fitted with a secondary hull-mounted heavy bolter. Although it's a useful option for providing added ranged firepower, it's often replaced with either a heavy flamer or multi-melter, depending on the type of operations the crew are expected to undertake. As well as the two main weapons, the Hellhound can be equipped with extra enhancements, such as camo netting, additional armour plating, a hunter-killer missile launcher, track guards, smoke launchers, and various rough terrain modifications. Due to their somewhat exposed fuel tanks, Hellhounds are prone to catastrophic explosions should their vulnerable tanks suffer any serious damage and rupture, igniting the promethium within. Hellhound crews have been known to adjust and tinker with the output of the promethium dispersal valves to further improve the efficiency and output of the Inferno Cannon. Unfortunately, this can make them even more prone to exploding. A fully fueled Hellhound is essentially a massive firebomb waiting to happen. The crew can use this knowledge to their advantage, adopting a brave but risky combat style, pushing deep into enemy lines. This can sometimes be enough to sway an enemy from opening fire, as the perilous proximity of the Hellhound to a potentially valuable asset is too great a risk. It's not surprising that most Hellhound crews are regarded as either incredibly brave or foolhardy pyromaniacs, mostly drawn from punishment details and crazed volunteers. But these unbalanced guardsmen take great joy in their grim assignment. The standard Hellhound design has been adapted throughout its extensive use and now has several different variants, all equipped with different primary weapon systems. The most common of these are the Devil Dog and the Bane Wolf. The Devil Dog is a variant of the Hellhound tank, intended to be used as an aggressive and mobile tank hunter. It makes use of an impressive melter cannon that replaces the Hellhound's standard Inferno Cannon. The Devil Dog acquires its name from the piercing howl emitted from its cannon when fired. The intense blast of searing heat produced is generated by a small fusion reaction, and is capable of vaporizing living flesh and melting through plate steel at close range. Due to the devastating effects of its melter cannon, Devil Dog crews typically favor themselves as big game hunters, excelling in the eradication of heavily armored enemy assets. The Bane Wolf is another adaptation of the Hellhound that forgoes its supply of promethium for bulky canisters of corrosive and highly toxic gas. Ejected from the tank's chem cannon in hissing jets, The chemical mixture has proven to be extremely effective against almost every hostile lifeform in the galaxy. The gas can chew through armour in mere seconds, dissolving the unfortunate victim alive and reducing them to nothing more than organic sludge. Bane Wolf crews often show little regard for life, and have become accustomed to the bone-chilling screams of terror as their tanks cleanse traitorous cultist uprisings, or quell deadly Xenos threats in plumes of toxic smog. Only a select few would ever volunteer to cruise such a short-ranged and grotesque weapon.